9 times global champion, 5 times Paralympic champion Prawawattaram of Thailand, the reigning Asian world champion Rawatana of Thailand, the 7 times world champion Marcel Hug of Switzerland. No Paralympic golds yet in his storied and glittering career. Masayuki Oguchi of Japan, silver in the 5,000 meters of the World Championships in Lyon in 2013 and bronze in the 5 in the Asian Games the following year. Josh Cassidy of Canada from Ottawa, Commonwealth Games bronze in the 1500 in 2010 and 3 silvers in the Pan Ams in Toronto last year. Kurt Fearnley, 3 times Paralympic Games champion, 4 times world champion down through the years. Gold in the marathon in 2011. Here is the reigning Asian and world champion, Rawatana of Thailand. 2 Paralympic golds he's won in his career, 2002 and 2004. The silver bullets from Switzerland, Marcel Hug, 7 times world champion, won 5 golds in Lyon in 2013 at the Worlds. For Thailand, this is Kayonsak Tamsapon. He went out in the heats of the 8 in the World Championships in Doha, but there are 3 Thai racers in this final, and that could be useful. Alassane Balde of Germany, bronze in the 15 and the 5 in the Europeans in Grosseto this year, silver in the 15 and the 5 in Swansea 2 years earlier. Prawawattaram, the 5 times Paralympic champion, 4 times world champion. From South Korea, Hong Suk Ma, gold in the 4, Beijing 2008. Picked up 2 medals in the Worlds and in Lyon. And here's Josh George of the United States, gold in the marathon, London last year, gold in the 8 in Lyon in 2013. 100 meters, Paralympic champion in 2008. So they all have pedigree, they all have class. This should be a tremendous final. So away we go. George, Hong, Waharam, Balde, Tamsapon, Hug, Tana, Fearnley, Cassidy and Higuchi. Gold in London 2012, going to David Ware. He's going for 5 golds here, but not racing in the 5,000 meters. He has his sights set elsewhere, but irrespective, without the werewolf in train, it is still going to be very, very competitive. It's Josh George out in front for the United States straight away. Balde taking up a good position right behind, and the silver helmeted Marcel Hug in 3rd place. Also up there going well for Thailand, Waharam and Tana. And it'll be perhaps cat and mouse very early on. Kurt Fearnley for Australia in 6th place. They'll speed up, they'll slow down, they'll try and run the rest ragged, and then they'll go for broke in the final 2 or 3 laps in this 5,000 meters.
Love that head-on shot. You get a little bit of an idea about how the athletes can move their chair. Kurt Fearnley shifted out just by shuffling in the chair, not even a tap on the wheel. And a radically different race to the 2nd semi-final we saw, which was a real cat and mouse affair, run at a slow pace with Rawatana and Kurt Fearnley wondering where the pace was going to come from. So completely different tactics, and let's see if it's a completely different outcome. But the Paralympic record of 10, 13, 20 is sure to go, because the world record by Marcel Hug is 20 seconds faster than that.
Well, the psychedelic wheel of Josh Cassidy, very easy to make him out. He's from Ottawa, but has a base in Toronto. Film industry based there a lot. He was a stuntman on the DC superhero movie that's out at the moment. Suicide Squad, other superhero movies are available. With a bit of extra cash coming his way that way. But you can't beat the bit of metal that comes from a Paralympic Games. Cassidy in 2nd place. It's Tana who's out in front, the man who won the world title. Thailand were fantastically successful in the wheelchair racing at the World Championships in Doha back in October, and Tana certainly took advantage of that. Golds in the 15 and the 5, silver in the 4x4. They're strong sporadically. They have been down through the years. Cassidy in 2nd place. Hug in a good position in 3rd. Kurt Fearnley in 4th. Marathon gold medals right across the board. 04 in Athens, 08 in Beijing, 2011 the World Championships in Christchurch, and for good measure, a gold in this 5,000 meters in Athens back in 2004.
It's a travesty of the sport, really, that Marcel Hug doesn't have that Paralympic gold medal yet. But maybe today is the day. He's certainly not going to let himself drift back too far in the pack as he takes his share at the front now. And the tactics between the three Thai competitors might be interesting in the second half of the race. Hoog just gently leading them down the home straight. This time they've almost stopped.
Yeah.
They're just having a complete relax for about 50 metres here. And now they begin pushing again around the bend. Hoog looking left and right to see who the challengers might be. Fernley is right on his tail.
Well, times don't matter in a final like this, and the area where they're passing is where the women's high jump was on during the Olympic Games. Ruth Batia won that, didn't clear 2 meters. A couple of heptathletes did better in their high jump, but it doesn't matter. The record books will have the height, but Ruth Batia's got the gold medal, and it will be the same in this. Even if they do 12, 13 minutes, time is irrelevant. The gold medal is all-encompassing. Fernley doing a nice little bit of work on the inside. Rawat Tanner's had to do a huge amount at the front, and Hoog as well. Balde has moved up again for Germany in 4th place. He's based in Bonn, the same home city as the International Paralympic Committee. Hoog, he's been pretty much third throughout. Apart from his little brief spell to the front, he's been third throughout, and Fernley's been 4th throughout, so you know exactly where they want to be. And Josh George for the United States taking up a firm position, almost apparently in 5th place. But Thailand, the only nation with more than one representative in this final. And it's Rawat Tanner still leading them out, and we've got 7.5 to go.
Nobody's dropped off the pace. Hong Suk-man of Korea in the black shirt sitting at the back. He's done no work, really. He starts to make a move around the outside, but it's encouraging for the whole of the field that they're all still together. And the occasionally dawdling pace perhaps contributing to that. Hook still ensuring that he's where he needs to be, and Fernley has decided that maybe he's the man to trail. And the tactics through the closing laps, the guys have got to be so on the ball about who's going to make a move and not to get trapped. But still with half a dozen laps to go.
Yeah, found it interesting that Balde has hit the front of the first time. Hoog in 2nd place. Rawat Tanner 3rd, Fernley 4th. You may remember in the semi-final, Fernley had to do a lot of work out of the front. And at one stage, he was livid with that. He went out to lane 4 just to say, I've had my spell. He was out in front for a lot of the race, and the rest in his slipstream trying to wear him down. But those outside the top 3 in that semi-final were the ones who had to suffer in the end because it was so slow. None of them got through as the fastest loser. It's a very sedate pace in this, but they're not racing for times. It's about those podium positions in the end. Hoog has done his bit at the front. Looks like maybe a slight conversation between him and Balde, just about what to do next. Tanner remains on the outside. Cassidy's been on the inside throughout. Moving back, Josh Cassidy. Josh George for the United States in 5th place. I think really at the moment Cassidy's quite happy where he is, right at the back. You see how tightly bunched they are. It's not going to take a lot of acceleration at this pace to go from last to first inside, what, 50 meters?
It's almost like a moving game of chess. You watch the leaders there, Balde and Hook, looking around constantly, not just to see what the margin is, but who is where, and try and outmaneuver their opponents as they come around into the home straight once more. You just get the feeling, Will, that Hook just never wants to be too far from the lead. If this gold medal is finally going to come his way, it's not going to come with him coming from the back of the field.
Well, 5,000 meters, if you like, is pretty much the start of the distance where you can properly start doing this. 1,500 meters, you might have a slight element, but the race is too short, and obviously the rest are effectively sprints. When it comes to the 5 and to the 10, marathon is obviously a different beast because it's out in the roads, but when it comes to the track, you can see everybody. You can take your pace, and if it means putting the pace down, as we're seeing here, then so be it. Balde out in front, Hoog just on the inside. Little bit of a push now coming from Waharam, who's got it to third. Now here's the acceleration for the first time in this race. Hannes Rawat Tanner's decided to have a go for this. 4.5 laps to go. It won't stay at this pace. They will slow down. They couldn't keep this going for 1,800 meters. Just try to shake a few off and just remind people that he's there, and he is the world champion from Doha in October. We had a race very much like that. Balde's just stayed it in the inside, and now Hong Suk Man has made a bit of emergence on the outside, the 400 metres Paralympic Games champion 2008. Very successful as a sprinter, 1 and 2 in Athens as the acceleration comes again. Huga's moved back a bit. He's down around 6th or 7th place. But again, he won't worry about that with 1,500 metres to go.
Fearnley found himself trapped when that move was made, and he's dropped to the rear of the field for the first time since the opening couple of 100 metres. Now he starts to loop around the outside in the yellow shirt. And the Thai team acting as a team in this race at the moment. And as you say, Hong Suk Man, who's been at the rear of the field for most of the race, finally made a move up into the front 5 and drifting to the back again. It's a movable feast.
Oh, look at this. Here goes Josh Cassidy. He's shot out in front with 3 laps to go. Canada, Thailand, Switzerland, USA, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Fearnley in 6th place. And nobody saw that coming. And Cassidy, he was just biding his time in the back all the way around. He accelerated quickly. It'll stay this way pretty much for the rest of the race. They're not going to be taking any more rest from here on in. And look at how spread out they are as well, covering 3 lanes. And in the last lap, 4. It's Balde and Hong. Hong has made a good move up on the outside. Tana still taking his time very well. Fearnley pushed back, doesn't want to be boxed in. Huga's right in the middle of that at the moment. It's going to get fast and furious now with 800 to go. And it's Thailand 1 and 2. And it's Tana in on the inside. On the outside, Waram. Waram will be just marginally in front. You know what? It's wheel for wheel with 2 to go. And Huga's on the outside. And George is on the inside. And it's really livening up. 2 laps to go.
Hook sitting, 1 out, 1 back. Not a bad place to be. Perhaps 3 back now. And Fearnley once again trailing the Swiss competitor. Thailand have it between them at the moment. And Hook and Fearnley are going to have a bit to do as they come down, turn into the home straight once more. But the favourites are all still in it. Nobody has dropped out of it. We've got Cassidy towards the rear of the field, but even he from there could make a run into the medals. Thailand 1-2 at the moment.
It's Tana on the inside and it's Waharam on the outside as they take the bell. And it's Josh George tucked inside in 3rd place and Huga's in 4th place. And in 5th is Fearnley. And now the Thais will try and move it up. Tana and Waharam are our leaders. George trying to make big impact on the inside, but he doesn't want to get boxed in. Marcel Hugo, who's never won a Paralympic gold record, trying to change that. Gold medal has never been against his name, but he's won 7 world titles, and now he's coming on the outside where Waharam is. Still it's Rawatan on the inside. Fearnley's making a good push. George is tucked in on the inside as well. Tana's pushed away. It looks like it's going to be another Thai gold. And Hoog will take the silver. Fearnley the bronze. What a race that was. Waharam timed it brilliantly. 11:01.71. And Prawat Waharam, for the 6th time, is a Paralympic Games champion. And it's his first since 2008. It's silver for Hoog, his 5th Paralympic medal, his 3rd silver. And Fearnley takes the bronze for Australia.
And Marcel Hoog, yet another time he's denied the gold medal. But the Thai races in the last couple of laps, just running 1-2 at the front, made it very difficult. Here's Cassidy earlier in the race looping around to take his turn at the front. And those unmistakable psychedelic wheels. But Waharam would prevail from Marcel Hoog and Kurt Fearnley. So Fearnley gets his 12th Paralympic medal. Already has 3 gold, so he adds another bronze. But it's a very smart tactical race run by the 3 from Thailand, with Prawat Waharam really bursting away out of that last turn. Marcel Hoog couldn't catch him. Fearnley, with about 4 laps to go, found himself continually boxed in or pushed wide, never got back to the front.
Yeah, so it was an interesting move on the inside because he'd been on the outside, Steve, for a long time, Waharam, and then just moved on the inside, and he really picked the move that his colleague Tana didn't and got in time ahead of Hoog and Fearnley.
I think if you asked them later, Hoog and Fearnley would both say that it wasn't their best tactical race. Hoog was in such a good position through the first 5 or 6 laps. So too Fearnley. And then it all unravelled as the Thai boys just took control of the race. almost running interference at the front. Made it difficult for the others, especially once they upped the pace. Fearnley came out, pushed hard and got third. Hug denied again.
Yeah, quite remarkable. And Prawat Waharam takes the gold, 11:01.71, his 6th Paralympic Games gold medal. And Hug, what does he have to do to win a gold? Well, he's still only 30. Still got at least a decade left in his career, but it's another silver for him. The gold going to Waharam for Thailand. Hug, the silver for Switzerland, and